savage worlds. Whether we're at the table or over the internet, in our role-playing game, fantasy is just the beginning. From the Wild West to the depths of outer space and beyond. Anytime, any place. They're all savage worlds.
No.
Welcome to Tuesday night on the Iconic Production Channel. I am JM the GM, and with me are our delightful band of misfits and miscreant. Miscreant being pockets. Do I got the wrong mic on? It says John Doom. Let's check this. I thought I was just checking. Look at that. No, it's the right mic. It says it's the right mic, John Doom. It says it's the right mic. We'll run with it and see what happens. Can you understand us, John?
Talk to me, John! Very quiet. What he says.
Very quiet. Indeed. Huh. Alright, give me a second. We're gonna let Ben start the recap while I do the troubleshooting.
Alright, so while he's troubleshooting, I'm gonna try and remember what happened. It's been 2 weeks. I have a baby at home. I don't remember much of anything. As I told JM, I've been conscious about 4 hours of any given day. So, when last we left our heroes, after having emerged from the sewer, none the wiser from our adventures, we parted ways. Chen to her home to shower repeatedly, I assume. The Pockets to a local pawn shop that will still allow him to sell his goods. And Sam to his magically appearing office, which apparently this time, for this case, made an appearance. After various adventures at those places, we regathered at the local watering hole, the faction neutral ground of the Bête Noire, where we met Lopacette, the bartender and proprietor of this establishment, and her incorporeal demon boyfriend, who sort of is like stuck in her shadow, not like, you know, emotionally, but like physically. She immediately recognized Sam, and apparently myself, immediately snubbed Chen, but we got drinks. Mine was on fire. I declined to drink it. And Chen drank it because she's a dragon. The conversation, she did give us some information, telling us where we should look next for some clues as to what our Minotaur friend was looking for. She indicated we should go and talk to Thosis, a knower of things. I'm not exactly sure what he is, but he knows things in the necropolis, the dead side of town. So, but before we were able to do so, we were accosted by yet another of Sam's many enemies, the Fiend faction, who sent a demon and 4 hound demons, which are not actually hounds, but are pathetic demons that are on chains. And I assume there's... I don't know how you get there. But it's a bad gig. We proceed...
Poor choices.
One assumes. Yeah, we're gonna go with that. And then we proceeded to stomp on these various demons. Chen did most of the damage. Sam got hit in the face repeatedly. I hid under a table. Some local rock folks got involved and stomped the yard. And then we proceeded to the necropolis, where we encountered Thosis. We found Thosis' crypt. We were immediately met by his adorable mummy cat, which Chen made friends with, and having made friends with it, Thosis invited us into his home. We do not know what Thosis is, or I'm sure he's going to need something from us, but that's where we left it. And I assume at some point, Aeth has rejoined us, or not yet?
Yeah, no, we're actually going to start with Aeth.
All right, here we go.
Thank you, John and Certified Perganic, for helping us do the audio troubleshoot. Everything looked fine, and then we went live, and Windows was like, you know what? Done with you. So, Aeth, when the group split up last time, you never returned to the Bête Noire. And so, what I'd like you to start off by doing is rolling your faith attribute.
Oh, snap.
Perfect. So you are getting ready to head out of the door to the apartment that you have in Crucible, near where what Chen refers to as Dragon Town. And you reach for the door, and the door handle bites you. And you can hear like your apartment fills with the sound of flapping wings, and you can just see black feathers start to fall from the ceiling, littering everything.
I am going to quickly wrap my hand and reach for my dagger.
Okay. As you reach for your dagger, the dagger, the crow head on the dagger hilt bites you as well. And you can hear the sound of crunching behind you, and the dull clack, almost like chalk on chalk, of bones being scattered as you can hear this wind and the sound of distant battle filling your ears, knowing that you're this open area that constitutes your, the only other room in your living area just sounds like it's echoing, and you can hear the sounds of battle behind you. And you hear, "The time of blood draws closer, Conduit. What have you found?" You can you hear this wet, crunching, meaty tearing noise from behind you as the Morrigan demands an audience with you. Now you know she's not really here.
Mm-hmm.
This is all, you keep telling yourself it's all in your head.
I'm just hoping I don't get bugged while I'm
That's
figuring
right.
out what's happening.
Yeah.
And I'm trying to decide if I want to say this out loud or in my head.
You're in your apartment, so you just haven't opened the door yet.
Oh,
The
okay.
door to go back out. Yeah.
I'm gonna go ahead and tell her it's like there's been a bit of a pause in our search. There's a door that I'm trying to open.
Yes. Tell me of this door.
It's a magical door. Me and my companions weren't able to open it. We think there's some way, but not sure where or who might know how to open it.
The door must be opened, Ave. You must be the one who unlocks it. Do not allow Sam to unlock it. This is of vital importance. Go to the houses of the dead. Your companions will await you there. Listen to what the Guardian has to say. He will let something slip. And again, you hear a wet tearing noise and a sucking as if from like multiple mouths, like pulling marrow from bones at the same time. Do this, and our agreement will be at an end. You shall be free.
I'm just gonna say, yes, queen.
All right, and you rolled a raise on this.
Yes, queen. She's the queen. It is appropriate.
I appreciate it with yes, queen.
Yeah.
Um, um,
With the hand.
you, as you turn around, all of the feathers once again whirl and they just disappear. But you hear that clacking noise again, and a bleached white skull kind of just sort of falls out of the air, clips and clops, and lands at your feet.
I'm going to take that and gonna put it in my belt pouch.
Okay. It's got a silver, the eye sockets and the jaw. Well, the jaw is wired with silver wires, and the wires kind of come up and thread through the nose and out the eyes to a small, like, hook, like you would hang a lantern off your belt because it's a little bit big for a belt pouch. But you definitely hear something rattling around inside of it.
Can I try to shake it out?
Sure. Are you doing that here, or are you doing that while you're walking? What's your plan here?
I'm gonna stay in my home for a second because I think people might question what I'm doing.
All right. As you start to shake it, you hear the jaw starts to move. Stop it! It's my last thought. Don't shake it out.
Well, if you don't tell me what your last thought is, I'm going to continue to shake.
If you shake it out, then I won't have any reason to talk to you.
And why should I talk to you?
Because we are both in service of the Queen. It's by her hand that my head was boiled, and the flesh and the meat and the marrow all burned away in her cauldron of war. It was she who lovingly bound my jaw back to my flesh and sent me here to guide you. I think we will get along just fine. You can call me Sezik.
I'm definitely spelling that right.
I know you did. Well done.
Totally get a bank for that. Have a job.
I don't jump to pocket.
With that being said, I need to find the Guardian. So I'm gonna hold up the skull again and say,
You can see two tiny little glints in the back of the eye sockets that kind of catch the light.
I'm gonna tell me where the Guardian is.
That I can do. Follow me. Well, hold me at arm's length and I'll kind of bob in the correct direction.
No problem, absolutely.
right.
I can hold him out.
So as you guys get there, you come up to this mausoleum and you can see this mummified cat that has definitely seen better days rubbing up against Chen's leg.
So cute.
I think Jenny just has a thing for and you just see a large clawed hand holding the door of the mausoleum open. Well, are you coming in or not?
Good thing.
Oh, yes, please.
You see your companions entering into the mouth of the mausoleum.
Curiosity only kills cats. This one's already dead.
Again, you just see the hand. It is not wise to denigrate your host's favorite pet.
I mean, she looks good. I mean, for her age.
I want to go ahead and pick up the cat so I can bring it inside with me.
Okay, it is warm on top, definitely cool underneath.
Your thing.
Yeah.
Is that why it always lands on his feet? Because cold always drops.
You should catch up. Don't let him out of your sight.
Which one, the cat or the hand?
I was referring to your companion, but I mean the cat is interesting. I wonder what it tastes like.
I'm just gonna ignore that comment.
Abe walks up holding a human skull from a silver brocaded, cable, and is talking to it and shaking it to get an answer. The jaw kind of clacks up and down.
Is she then doing a tiny little voice to like the one?
No, she definitely feels like she responds to it as if it's talking.
But we don't hear it.
You do not.
Just harassing the street sweepers again, have Abe? The thing? Did we know she did this sort of thing?
It's the new talent I picked up very recently.
Just how's the dead feel about this? Did you give him back?
We can revisit that later.
You're letting all the cool air out.
I'm mostly wondering if all
Perhaps the
schools
cool
are
air
free.
in. I do not like the smell of the outside world. You do remember that all you know of Thosis is that your lord will send people there until he tears a messenger apart, and then they kind of leave him alone for a bit.
Oh,
He is not known for his patience.
oh yeah, I nudge everyone to remind them to just like be cool and come on.
Be cool. Be cool.
Be cool. Right.
Let's go.
As you enter, stairs kind of descend down about 5 feet. But when you look up, the ceiling seems to be much taller than that. And it's pretty dark in here, but at the far end of the hall, you can see the warm light of a large hearth. The floor here is covered in multicolored tiles. They are all geometric shapes, but you can't ever quite figure out exactly how many sides each tile has, but they all seem to fit together. And the door just kind of grinds behind you, closed. Everything is dark except for the light. Move along. The cat kind of jumps out of your arms, and Fluffy just sort of like does the cat strut down the hall.
That's great.
So that wasn't Thosis' hand then? Or is he just in the shadow?
The voice came behind you.
Oh, can I turn around and look up?
Do you have any way to see in the dark?
I'm undead.
The shadow looms.
You're right, let's see. I'm undead.
I very politely take off my hat. I mean, that's just polite.
I'd like to cast my dark sight.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Go ahead and do that. As you go to do that, you hear rumbling from the shadows. A man of culture. It's been some time since those with the old manners have approached my home.
Well, that's me, old-fashioned.
I rolled a 7.
Your dark sight goes off.
Great.
So immediately you see the hall. There are several portals on the other side of the hall. About half dozen. They look just like, post and lentil frames, like you would imagine go to other areas of the house. But when you look at them, they are covered in a black, tattered, ratty, curtain hanging, and you can get glimpses of a room on the other side, but you never quite see it. Behind you, by the door, talking to Sam, is something sort of hunched over a little bit, because even in the vaulted ceiling of this house, it is too small for it. And it stands, and it's sort of squatting down, and its ankles come up about 4 feet. Knees then jut out and then back. And there are 4 arms. 2 are smaller and kind of wrapped around its waist. The other 2 are massive and in claws. And it has sort of an alligator-like head to it with large, almost like tusks coming out from the lower jaw. And it too, the cat is definitely in better shape than this thing. It has no eyes in its socket. There are large, just chunks of its desiccated flesh that are missing, but it doesn't seem to be slowed down for any reason. And then it kind of looks right at you. And I have provided light at the end of the hall.
Oh, thank you.
Thank you for seeing us. It's like
I could see all of you. Now she can see me. And you hear this loping thump again as you feel something move past you. The skull is like kind of turns and looks to the center of the hall. You can't really see anything, and you just hear, "Oh shit!"
Anything you would like to elaborate on?
Nope.
I say we head the direction he's gesturing towards.
Okay. There's a large, old, musty rug that looks like there might have at one point been a nice picture. Like, it's not really a rug as much as it's a tapestry that has been strewn across the floor. There is a magnificent heart with a roaring, warm light. You can't really see anything burning in there, but you can see that Fluffy has stretched out its back towards the light its belly pointed away from it, and it is kind of chilly if the light doesn't touch you. Like if someone passes between you, all of the warmth drains from the room. There's a large overstuffed chair that has been clawed on quite a bit. And to this, you all now see the same thing. It's this creature kind of moves, it sits down, crossing its legs, which point out. And Fluffy kind of gets up, saunters over, and starts scratching at the side of the chair. The far side of the room is covered in, well, you would assume books, except there are no books here. Those seem to be too new of a contrivance for this place. It is scrolls and tablets and strange scrimshawed horns and bones cut into little cubbies along this wall. There are several other rooms or doors that lead outside with the same similar kind of black shroud that hangs over them.
Does this place have other entrances? Do those doors go other places?
There are 4 other chairs in front of the hearth. There is a large, well-loved, warmed by the oils of the hand, leather, high-backed, tall-backed chair. There is a very kind of low silver pillow with a small table that's kind of set out in front of it. There seems to be a stone chair that looks sort of like a throne, almost like, and it definitely has been splattered and stained with something red. And then there is a stool that is connected by ropes to a pole that comes down into.
Yeah. My dad had one of these.
Yeah.
I sit on that one.
You immediately land on your end. It seems as if this is some sort of contrivance to guarantee you cannot sit on it.
It takes practice. You kind of got to do it yourself.
Sit.
All right.
Your courtesy has bought you some time. Your allegiance to the Silver One. A bit more. I give you the same indulgence that the city does. Keep your mistress out of my house, and we will have no quarrel. But I still don't know how you survived.
I don't know how they died, so.
Spoken like a true Viking of Valheim, John Doom. What
Well,
can I do for you?
we appreciate you taking the time for us. We had a couple of questions about something we ran into recently. A door under the sewer. What was the name of it again?
He
did
it down.
You're asking the wrong monkey.
What did we call? What did we write it down?
Great question. The secret door.
That's the one. In the sewer, I described the approximate location to him.
Well, Cassette remembered what it was called.
The skull kind of looks up at you. They're definitely all going to die. Only take you with them. The door of Visage. That is what the mistress told you it was called.
I'm gonna blurt that out.
There we go. Yes.
Hold on. So you knew what the name of the door was.
I'm saying with the door.
Yeah, but when Cassette was there.
I just knew the door's name.
And you did again. Oh, nice.
What a gal.
Every girl's gotta have their secrets.
The creature kind of looks at you. You sure that was the name? And he gets up and starts working at the wall. The cat was like clawing on its thigh or on its ankle, like shredding the desiccated flesh, and it just didn't seem to notice. And as it moves away, the cat is kind of...
Honestly, when you've had a cat long enough, you don't notice it at all.
Is it a true thing from a cat owner?
Wop, wop.
Oh, good.
No, they can't see it. I feel like I'm gonna leave that mystery. Just, gonna let it simmer there.
He needs our secret.
That's right. We all need our secrets. He walks over and he says, Astagi was a mage. One of the first to arrive after the gates were set up. It's said that he delved. He pulls like a massive stone tablet out. The little arms kind of unfurl with a crack and peeling away dead, scaly flesh and kind of like support it. Is this? And he holds up like an accurate representation of the door.
That's the one.
It is said that of all of his blasphemies, Stagi's door was his greatest. When Crucible was drawn up the tower, the laws were put into place by the will. There are certain things that are not allowed inside the city. There are certain ways that things can be, and he looks like right at you, Abe, denied entrance into the city. Estagi's door, it is said, circumvents the laws of the city. By allowing something in through the door, it makes it a part of the fabric of Crucible, and therefore a part of the fabric of existence.
So what's actually on the other side of the door? Or do you like it to pick?
It is said that nothing goes through the door, things only come out. Istagi was killed in battle with the First Protector. Of not remains of it but its hand.
First protector, do I know what that is?
You can give me a common knowledge roll. You can all give me a common knowledge.
I'm sorry.
It's 7.
Haley's just throwing dice everywhere. And they're D4s too. 7?
Yep.
4? You actually have to close your eyes. The dice aren't coming.
I know. 3.
Sorry. 6. Alright, so Shannon's too disturbed, having flashbacks back to the Bête Noire being called Glenn. The rest of you know that the first Guardian, the Primus Guardian, was a golem that originally guarded the tower in the area around the tower before the Great Dragon Ouroboros came and encircled the city to protect it from the void. The Guardian had many great feats, including fighting off the army of Hashaban the Mad before falling in battle against the mage Istagi. And his body, he killed the mage Istagi, and the blast threw him into the surging tide of nothingness and dissolved it all save his hand, or its hand.
The Guardian's hand or a study?
The Guardian's hand.
Where is this?
So the blast.
Of killing the mage through the... Yeah.
Okay, gotcha.
Who got a raise? So that would be
Oh, that's, I got
an
6.
8. Okay, that's what you know.
All right. What can you tell me about how the door opens?
It is said that great magics protect it. Only one of Astagi's followers or descendants, or those who studied his blasphemous rites, know how to enter through the far side of the gate. But it is said that a lock, the finest smith in all of reality, was brought to put a lock in the center of Astagi's door. And it uses The hand of the Guardian.
Where is this Hand of the Guardian currently?
Like many of the Seven Seals, some assume they're kept in the tower. Others are hidden among the Dragon Lords. Several have been lost to time. No one actually knows how many of the seals actually remain.
Can you tell me about this flower?
I've got things in my pockets too that if you wanna, just... Oh, we're eating it.
That was the flower I found it.
Yeah, he definitely was like, delicious.
I knew you'd like it.
What are the rest of you guys doing while Sam is having this interaction with this very strange entity?
Listening for the most part. Trying to pet the cat some more. Maybe looking around, seeing if they see anything interesting on the scrolls, like other things. Not like rifling, but like just looking.
Give me a... Alright, John, you earned your first Betty of the night.
That's
Give me a notice roll, please.
most excellent.
I get to, every so often I run a Savage Rips game that John Doom plays in, and his Cyber Knight, it's just... Ape, what are you doing while this conversation is going on and while Chen is...
I'm probably just kind of looking around, carrying my new skull buddy with me, seeing if I notice any kind of movement from him to indicate something I should be paying attention to.
Give me a notice roll. And I'm going to regret this. Pockets, what are you doing?
I mean, he's busy looking at the things and eating flowers, right?
Yeah.
Where can I reach one of my long hands over and see what happens when I move one of the curtains around one of the other doors?
You definitely can.
Where does it go?
I'm going to need a agility roll from you.
Okay. Not mega skill.
What?
I
Okay.
You're a monkey.
What's the one monkey in the family that couldn't do martial arts?
Yeah.
But apparently it's double fives, so...
So only has to survive.
Yeah.
So, you don't necessarily find anything all that interesting among the scrolls and the tablets. But you can see there are other things kind of squirreled away into cupboards. Necklaces, there's a diadem, a bejeweled dagger. It looks like these... It really looks like a giant stone, almost like wine rack. And these tablets are kind of... And these things are kind of set in there. The cat is watching you with great interest. What did you get?
A 7.
A 7. All right. So, you heard what he said about the hand, right?
Do you know where the hand is?
Kind of rattles his head around. So here's the thing. Technically, there are rules. Technically, I'm not allowed to tell you anything like that. But I can say, if it's the hand of a giant golem, probably weighs a lot. Be a very valuable thing. Someone might want to move around the city. But either you're not quite sure if the silver thing allows the jaws to move.
So did they just let you keep skulls? Are there free skulls out there that I'm missing out on?
Yeah, just gotta pick him up off the street and gonna turn back to my skull.
Complimentary skulls, Jam.
They're just everywhere.
Yes, Ben. Oh my gosh, are these skulls complimentary? I need that on a T-shirt. From Ben.
I'm gonna say, are you able to tell me where I should start looking?
I can tell you that I was told that you already started looking. You're on the path. You just need to, and it kind of rattles its head, get the idea to shake out. Come on, we're all counting on you.
Well, I gotta start somewhere, and right now I'm gonna stick with them and see where it takes us.
Okay. You definitely put your hand through the curtain. You all hear a muted masculine-ish scream. You feel a thud as if a knife kind of almost like hit you, and you manage to pull it back, and the curtain kind of closes.
Really wouldn't do that if I were you.
Okay, but now I have to know what's behind it. Is it just like a little man with a knife just waiting for anybody to do that? Because that's a really weird thing to keep in your house. But also kind of cool.
It doesn't have eyelids, so it doesn't blink it.
They're like really old security systems. Because I hear some places they just like make noise, but this one apparently has stabby things.
This is why I never answered the door.
Who can blame you?
There are spaces that are larger as they connect with other spaces. Knowledge is like a lodestone and a weight on the fabric of reality, drawing other places of knowledge together.
So that was like the plane of little stabby dudes.
You have less time than you have.
Yeah, no, that checks out.
Well, I've asked everything I need to ask.
So I don't know if I missed this earlier, but in this door, is there currently a group that would have particular interest in making sure that the door does not open to the point of being very protective of it to a deadly extent?
You are asking if there are people in the city who would not wish the door opened.
Yes. But like to the point of
Murder?
yeah,
Most foul.
that's the one.
I can think of only a handful. The governor of the tower. And everyone beneath him or her. It has been a while since I've left the city.
So the council.
All the way down to the street sweepers. Opening the door. Save for very few scenarios would be a very bad thing.
So, did Astagi actually ever open the door? No? We don't know? Hard to know? Just we know it's a bad idea.
Do you know what is kept out by the walls?
Yeah, lots of bad stuff. I mean,
Mhm.
that's the, yeah.
Lots of bad stuff that don't exist anywhere in reality. Creatures from the interstitial places,
Right.
the underbelly of creation.
The
If
squamous
one of
thing.
those were allowed to become part. By the way, the chat, everyone in the chat gets a Benny. Those are fantastic. If any of those were allowed to become a part of the fabric of reality, it would be a bad thing. Things which are supposed to be wouldn't. Connections would fail. Those that were mortal would find themselves dying.
So what I'm wondering is if, in fact, if it bends reality when the door opens, then would we even notice that something had changed? So might it have opened before we just didn't notice? Maybe all of Crucible came out through the door, and that's just how it is now. Yeah? Like, nothing really that bad could happen, because maybe that's what's supposed to happen. Because maybe it already happened.
Mhm.
Right?
You have very little time left.
Yeah, noted. Yep.
If one wanted to, say, figure out who or what their followers look like, where would one start?
The followers of Astagi.
Yes.
This is your last question.
But they don't like hands, though.
Hello, Phantom.
If one wished to seek the followers of Astagi, I would seek out the one place that your past is forgotten. It would be the perfect place to hide.
There's a gong that just sounds through the whole thing.
More visitors.
And he turns and stalks off towards the door.
So do you think he charges a fee? Like takes a little bit of our soul? But do we just
You just leave? You probably just leave.
Well, I mean, if we left, we'd have to go the way he went.
Well, yeah.
do you think he keeps really close track of all these things in his heavies in the walls?
I
Yeah.
I like how Jenny started off as the really impulsive one and has over just merely 4 sessions transitioned into.
I can still
necessity, we
be
understand.
impulsive, but I am still an agent of the Silver Dragon.
You are. That is true.
Mm-hmm. All right. On our way out, do we see who his other visitors are?
So as you kind of head back down the hall, the cat suddenly screeches
Oh.
and goes bolting up the corridor. And as it goes leaping past, you can see there's this blossom of green and purple flame, and Thosis is knocked back down the hall. And it's just steam rising from his chest, but the burns seem to be eating away as if it's kind of like acid.
I think the door's for you.
And it kind of
Oh, snap. Nobody's keeping track of those cubby holes now, baby. Sorry.
Anyway.
Who's at the door?
as you look out, you can see that currently there is a bunch of dead moving around the graveyard. They are currently engaged in battling a massive dire cat that seems to be tearing them limb from limb, and you can see that there are several black shapes kind of swooping down and just taking huge chunks out of this massive mummified cat as it kind of paws at them. And it is, you recognize vampires in a shadowy form, and you can hear, Sam!
Let's shut the door. Let's find a different way out.
So you're going to try and shut the door?
We're trying to shut and bolt the door, and we are going to find a different way out.
I need a spirit roll at -4 from you as you try to shut the door.
Also that cat.
Spirit.
Seems like he can handle it. I mean,
He is being torn to shreds.
is Thosis dead? Or
Do you want to go check
At
him out?
minus
yeah, I should check him out.
4.
-4?
Go, if you have any sort of healing.
I mean, I don't know that I have healing that would actually. I do have healing.
I'm spending
I don't know how it would affect a.
You can give me a healing roll.
I don't know how it would affect a undead. D6 and D6. It's a 5. So
To the best of your, as you kind of poke at him, pat him down, I can only assume for loose change. One of the eye, the skull, kind of rolls over.
Just leave me. I will be okay.
all right, keep it up.
Leave me. Leave me alone.
Okay,
And the small hand kind of comes up and grabs you. And leave
my cubbies alone.
Okay, man, you got it. I'm just gonna let you lie there. You just sleep it off.
The hand kind of lets go and falls down.
I spent some pennies, but I
Yeah.
got a 13.
The door is fighting you, almost as if the door does not recognize your authority to close it. That's the feeling that you get.
Mhm.
And you manage to close this door into submission.
That's most people's experience.
Yeah, I just need you to roll 2d6 and tell me what the highest of the two is. Don't worry about it. Just make a roll.
I don't worry about anything.
Did you get it? Okay. Sam, the layout of the hall, like you know where every door in this place goes to.
All right.
What
Let's
are
get
you
us
looking
out
for?
here. We're just an exit.
Just
Okay, but where do they go?
you want just there's three on the left, three on the right. You're pretty sure first and second on the left, and the last one on the right will get you out to someplace safe within the city.
Yeah. I say to everyone else, this way.
You
Follow me.
Which one do you take?
The way out.
Well, they're all out.
Oh, every single one of those.
Yeah. Three of them
Just
go
like
to the city. The other three go other places.
Oh.
Roll a dice, pick which one.
Yeah.
E4.
No. Let's go somewhere else.
Somewhere.
Yeah.
Okay. Middle, one or two. You definitely get the sensation of
Which one?
long, empty corridors on your right. Warm, blue beaches under a orange sky to your first
Oh, you
left.
mean these go to like just straight up different planes?
Yes. And then you get a definite feeling of a mirror, just a mirrored, reflected surface on the other one.
Do we want to go to another plane?
I mean, it would escape, but I mean, you might fall
The door
apart.
kind of shakes and something
Were
hits
we
it.
able to get back?
And eventually, the Elysian Legion's
It
everywhere.
hits
They
again,
find us.
and the door flies open, and the cat kind of hits, smoking and like just torn open,
We're going.
and it kind of.
Let's go to the beach.
All right, you just.
We're going to the beach.
All right. Do you all follow him?
To the beach!
Yes.
The skull definitely screams.
Shit!
And as soon as you all hit the beach, I need everyone to give me a roll. Where's my character sheet? I need everyone to give me a vigor roll. As you step out on the beach and you notice three things. One, there is no door behind you. Two, there are things moving up the sand strand at you.
Awesome.
They are low to the ground. They seem to be carved out of onyx or have a slightly black, glossy carapace. And they are composed of many limbs, many clacking claws, and they all seem to be burbling out a chorus of gibberish as they kind of stop, all turn to the side, and come racing down the strand at you. And as soon as you take a step forward, your feet just open up as you realize the sand isn't sand, it's glass. Just for miles.
The
Up and
burbling
down.
is something like Dedichik.
Dedicum? Yeah.
Dedichum?
What'd you get?
I got a 10.
14.
Wow. All right. So here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna do a dangerous, quick encounter. So here's how this works. So this is a way to kind of handle this. There's about 30 of these crab-like things coming right at you. So in a dangerous, quick encounter, the way this works is you each are going to tell me what you did to get out of this situation. Did you go running across the beach? Are you looking for something? Are you fighting off these horrendous, let's call them crabstrosities?
Not lobster.
No, that would be silly.
That would be too
That would be too silly. and then you're going to give me a roll based off what you are attempting to do. If you roll well, you get out of the dangerous quick encounter with absolutely no consequences. The worse you roll, the more consequences you have.
Yeah.
So these, you don't even have, like, all of this happens at once. You realize that, like, your boots, even if they're metal, are being shredded. As you kick up glass, it's kind of getting into your clothes, working into your skin, just lacerating everything. And these things seem uniquely evolved to deal with it and go racing across at you and are on top of you before you can even...
So it's a beach.
It is a
That
beach.
means there's water beyond.
There is definitely a clear liquid that is kind of hitting the shore, and you can hear a crashing noise to what amounts to your left.
Okay. And is there land beyond the beach that is,
As you look back, there are cliffs that kind of rise up, yes.
and is there a visible way up the cliffs?
Is that what you're trying to do? You're trying to find a way out of this chaos?
I mean, it seems like our main option.
Okay. Then I would like you to give me a notice roll. And this will be at -2. Don't give it to me yet. Like, don't, or roll it, but don't tell it to me.
Okay.
Sam, what are you doing?
Yeah, I think the clips look good. I'm looking around for something equivalent. What is the equivalent of driftwood on this beach of sand? Something that we could use as, like,
You already walked through your book bed.
makeshift skis, if you will.
You want to try and
Something
craft
something flat. No, just something flat that we could, like, stand on.
You too can give me a notice roll. This will be at a -2 as well. Chen and Ave. I didn't mean to be like Chen. I know who Chen is.
I'm gonna just immediately get on my hoverboard,
Your lift edge.
my lift edge. Thank you. I'm gonna immediately get on my lift edge, and then also maybe try and cast a burst at these things coming at us.
Okay. Give me roll your dragon soul.
As an air elemental, am I able to float at all?
As a
Summon a bunch of ravens and then step on them, each in order.
We can harness
That
these
would be-
crabs though.
Well, I'm totally gonna surf behind you on your hoverboard.
elemental scions of the inner air. You don't need to breathe. No, you cannot fly. Do you have the fly power? Do you have any power that you would like to?
Yes. What are my options for that?
What powers do you have?
Oh well, I guess the only way I could do is just either burst or summon crows.
These
glass wooden.
Crabominations.
crabominations. Oh! When I write up this creature, the crabomination is going to be the name.
Oh, I also really like rock lobstrosities.
Struck. Certified Organic gets a Benny for realizing that beaches are never a good thing in that game. These things are crawling all over your allies. So you want to burst to like kind of get some space? Do you want to try and ride one of the ride away in the midst of the crowd? Crabocalypse?
Crabocalypse.
Crabocalypse.
So they are big.
I like how this is the thing that's sticking with everyone.
I love it.
So they are big enough to actually like jump on.
Oh yeah.
Then yes, I would like to just take out my sword and start hacking at him as I jump across them.
All right, give me a fighting test. Ben, what did you get on your notice roll?
Double explosions.
Okay, and the total?
So I was trying to find out, does that mean I reroll both of them?
You do get to reroll both of them.
Okay.
Anytime a dice ace.
So 14.
No. Remember, you pick the better of the two. They don't get added together. So you'll roll both explosions
Okay.
and see which is the higher.
Okay. Alright, so they're actually both the same when they explode. So 5 plus 8, so that's 13.
13. All right. You escape basically unscathed, and yes, you can see that there are steps carved into the side of these cliffs. And you can see kind of a ruined, ruined wall, and maybe like the edge of a building.
Okay.
And
Can I
that could
need my friends?
off the beach?
Well, that was your thing. So you're.
I got a 7 to find some kind of driftwood.
Yes. You don't just find driftwood. What you find is there is a large, piece of long, flat shell that's kind of slightly curved, as well as several, what seem to be bones that have been stripped clean.
All right. I want to jump on the shell and throw you something so you can sort of tug me behind.
And what did you get on your roll? 7?
7.
Okay, so you escape with what is known as bumps and bruises. I'll come back to you in a second and let you know what that means.
I rolled a 12.
All right. Your blast. What does your blast look like again, Chen? Your dragon's breath?
Yes.
Okay, so you kind of rear back with a 12 again. The scales, you can kind of feel them kind of traveling from deep in your, the core of your being, and they kind of come up on her skin. You're standing right next to her, and she just lets out this vomit of silver flame, charring a lot of these things. A sweet scent fills the air as you broil these things alive in their shell.
I rolled a 5.
So you too will get bumps and bruises as you leap from back to back. The two of you fighting off the crabs, crabominations, as you devise a contrivance and you find a spot. This is why I show up. It's really just to provide an environment for my players and the chat to entertain me. That's Tink, you can have a Benny for abominations. Soon you are racing across this, and again, the glass is going and flying everywhere. I do need one more vigor roll from you as you guys get to the edge of the cliff, because there's now tiny shards of glass in the air all around you. So, those of you who had bumps and bruises, which is 8, and Sam, bumps and bruises are essentially a level of fatigue that automatically improves once a day.
Okay.
Okay? And so a level of fatigue subtracts 1 from all rolls until you get out of it. So you're not wounded, but it sort of acts like a wound until you're okay. All right, what do you guys get on your vigor rolls? 6. You're fine?
I rolled a 7, but I have 1 6.
6. 3.
9.
9. Do you want to spend a...
Oh, I'm all
Benny?
spent out.
Oh, well, you'll take a wound then.
All right.
You can see blood starts to appear around Sam's eyes. The lips start to split. You get, anyone it's going to happen to. Yeah. He starts coughing up
I'm
blood.
wakeboarding on glass.
You are wakeboarding on glass. And you make it to the edge. Oh, John gave you a reroll on your Benny.
Hey! I got a 4 that time.
All right. So you guys get to the edge of this cliff. Stairs kind of cut in switchback fashion all the way up. And you can see there's a bunch of broken stone here at the bottom. And you can see little alcoves in the stairs where it looks like things have been ripped out and cast to the ground.
So probably former temple. For idols or statues of some sort.
You made the notice roll earlier. What's really weird is as you look back, it doesn't look like the ocean is as far away as it should be.
Huh.
It's chasing us.
The ocean's chasing us?
What the heck? Fight faster!
So glad we decided to go to those weird doors.
It might. Well. I don't have to
You
explain
just
myself
wanted
to
a nice-
anybody.
There were still 4 other doors further in, and I know where all of them go. So thank you. Did I expect that to go anywhere? No. Am I glad for it? Yes. As you start to ascend, the path is easy. It definitely looks as if the stone here has been ripped apart, broken, as if by ice, right? Ice kind of water had flown down, frozen, cracks kind of repeatedly over time open, which is really weird because you are all sweating from the tropical nature of this spot.
Yeah, it's definitely like a living crystal ocean.
Okay. That's cool.
So when you say it's like broken up and stuff, can we still ascend?
Yes.
Or
Yes. It takes a little time as you kind of as it goes to the quantum beach. I mean, they did leap through the spot. Now, as you guys ascend, you can also see that there are there's weird damage to this place. I want all of you to give me a notice roll as you kind of make it near to the top. Torture Kamada. I didn't write it out. Certified Cabanic, if we were playing Torg, you would know that that would definitely do a cabana hammock. Right. 5?
5.
2.
3.
Nothing is out of the ordinary. Everything here is fine. The ocean is probably not out to get you.
Great.
I don't breathe, so it's fine.
However, what is really weird, the two of you do notice that instead of sort of the rhythmic sounds of the surf, what you actually hear is kind of a low harmonic noise that kind of ascends and then recedes and ascends and recedes. Never feels like it's getting further away. Each iteration does kind of feel like it's getting closer.
So is this what happens to
You
you,
two.
Sam, when you take Shimmer? Have you ever done Shimmer? Because this feels like the sort of place you would go if you did Shimmer.
When he says that, you can see that Pockets involuntarily rubs at his eyes.
Oh. Just say no.
Um,
Stay in school.
You two guys notice something really strange. That a lot of the statues that have been pulled out and kind of cast down, the statues seem to not have been broken apart, but cut apart at right angles.
Oh, boy.
Like, very sharp right angles. Almost as if, like, perfectly sliced.
Can we get back? Can we ask Dosis why he has a door to this hellscape?
Sure.
I don't know. He said no more questions.
I'm just gonna like push him under his door until he's really annoyed. That often works.
As you get to ascend to the top of the cliffs, you all notice that the beach is essentially gone, and the harmonics kind of get disrupted as they crash against the bottom of the cliff. Up here, there is a large, what looks to be like a large foundation. The stones have been pulled apart. Actually, you don't know. Like, there's a little bit of a wall. Like I said, now that you're close here, the wall is not. Gotta not look at the chat while I'm doing description. The wall is not made of stone. The wall seems to be made of a very fine tinted crystal or glass, except it's been cut. And this building looks like it was once a grand facility of some sort. There are also bodies lying all over the place. And the bodies have been just cut apart. They just kind of
At right angles?
there's a lot of
Bodies of what?
so it's really interesting. As you look, Chen, whatever lived here, it looks as if they were insectoid of some sort. There seems to be too many pieces to try and assemble, but in your mind, as you kind of look at it, there seems to be sort of like 3 distinct types of insectoid people. They would all be about your height. Speciesist.
Now, do they have pockets?
Are you rooting around the cubed bodies of the dead?
I think we should continue moving in a perpendicular to the wave line direction.
All right.
Agreed.
But if we see anything good on the ground, I'm picking it up.
naturally.
Okay,
As a souvenir.
I won't stop you.
Pockets, give me a notice roll.
All right. It's a 1 and 2. I'm spending a penny. Because life is short.
All right.
Especially on this holiday.
What are the rest of you guys
already
doing while
dead.
Pockets is like picking up body parts and shaking them and throwing them around and tossing them?
Okay, so we're up at the top.
Yes.
And is it like a plateau, like surrounded situation, or is it like there's
There's land inward, but it is barren. You can see a couple of trees.
Okay. Does it look like the grass in this land is also made of glass?
There is no grass. Like it looks like it has been blasted apart.
Oh yeah, okay. I say we just keep going.
Mm-hmm.
Just
Okay.
inland as much as possible.
All right, Pockets. If that is your real name, roll a d20 for me. And a d6.
D20 and D6. All right.
And a d16. No, we're not playing.
Oh, man.
That was just to get your hopes up.
That's a 19 combined, so it's
No, each individual.
All right,
is.
13 and then a 6.
All right, Pockets, you definitely find a short sword lying along this thing. It is made of the same clear crystal as what seems to be the rest of it. As you pick it up, it's weird. As you go to reach for it, it leaps the last 4 inches into your hand.
That's kind of cool.
There are knuckle guards. There's like a knuckle guard on it, and as you swing it around, it starts sort of giving that same sort of kind of harmonic resonance. It seems remarkably. Oh, I need you to also roll another. You crazy SOB. I need you to roll a d10 as well.
It's a 6.
Okay. It also, as you kind of swing it around, there's this smell of ozone, and it crackles a little bit.
Hey.
Nice.
The rest of you, as you kind of move along, are you going down into the foundations, kind of skirting it? What are you doing?
I think we should just move directly, straight line from the beach as possible.
Mm-hmm.
All right. As you do, you can kind of see something coming up the stairs on the far side, moving close. It is a large ant-like creature. Its carapace is of a scintillating color, kind of catching different angles. The light it gives it a weird kind of shimmering glow to it, and it has what looks like a lance, except it's got 2 grips in the center of it. And it turns and it looks at you and it kind of freezes and points the thing right at you. And it emits this high-pitched chitter.
So we say far in, are we in between the?
No, so as you're moving the foundation of this massive building and kind of moving up, kind of parallel to the coast, perpendicular to you, coming up the stairs out of what looks to be just a massive vault-like structure underneath. It definitely has wounds. Just these lines that have scarred it.
I think we just keep running
Away.
or lift edging, as the case may be.
Yeah.
Okay, it starts running towards you, chittering, making the sand people motion with its lance that I just realized I was doing. Kind of like the little arms underneath, making just arcane and motions. You don't know what it's doing.
Does it look like motions of trying to just get our attention, or motions of we're gonna attack you?
There's only one of it. It does not seem like it. If the lance is a weapon, it is not pointing it at you.
Okay.
Oh, well then let's talk to it if we can.
Okay.
Yeah. Does anyone speak creepy ant?
I only speak domineering ant.
No. That is what they teach.
Passive aggressive ant. Yeah. Anybody have comprehend languages as a spell?
Unfortunately, I do not.
All right.
With my dark sight help.
It would not.
Weird.
With my magic rock.
I can just intimidate.
As it kind of skitters to a stop in front of you, most of its legs, you can see there's a couple of its legs that are just missing. They're just little stumps that are twitching in the. Now it's a port. Twitching.
I
in
can be
there.
disgusted and also pitying.
Yeah. It is chittering at a high-pitched, almost squelching noise at you.
So I spent some time with the Legion, right?
Mm-hmm.
Which is a cross-plane organization.
Mm-hmm.
Is there some sort of like universal sign language or means that they use to communicate when they are traveling into areas where there might not be anybody?
Who has any faction relationship with the Elysian Legion? You may both give me a faction die roll on this.
Okay. Which
At -2.
Faction die is going to be 6.
Do they still explode? Even
They
if
still
you-
explode. Yep.
That could be a 4.
All right.
That's gonna be a miss. Again, life is short.
Eventually, with you.
One of those 4s will take.
One of those with the -2.
Not with the -2.
Okay.
Okay.
You are making what can only be described as obscene. You're like, I got this. You, however, know enough of the. He had a great idea. Pockets had a great idea that the Elysian field signals, and essentially what you get are enemies, attack, imminent, kind of come across, and suddenly the insectoid kind of gets real still, sort of turns around, kind of pointing its weapon at Afe, and then past Afe, going back towards the foundation. And then the weirdest thing happens. The creature falls apart into cubes. There's this kind of flash hissing noise as if it starts to steam, as if the pieces were frozen, as if something kind of ripped it apart along right angles to itself. And they just kind of fall apart. The lance is destroyed in a similar fashion. And it just hits the ground into a pile that kind of clatters like wooden blocks. I know you've got young kids at home, like wooden blocks pushed off the edge of a table. And they just kind of clatter against each other. And, well, thanks, John. They start hissing as the heat, like the flesh starts to gooify. And you catch something out of the corner of your eye.
Let's see.
You catch something out of the corner of your eye. There's something moving that you only catch glimpses of. And as soon as you try to look at it, they disappear. And we're gonna jump and get pop back.
What these are? This is freaking bad.
You do? You know what these
I
are?
do know what these are.
What are they?
I don't know. Do I tell them, Jay?
Yeah, not yet.
Okay, I didn't think so. Yeah, no, these are. This is a bad time, guys.
Hooray!
Cool. Good thing I've already spent most of my bennies. And I'm fatigued.
You want me to cut? It has been. When do you get to roll for your regeneration? You've been in the cheat sheet I gave you.
Every hour.
Okay. Would you like me to cut Samsara,
Nah.
Mercenary Defender? Giving you the first one.
Kept down.
Hell.
I haven't looked at it yet.
Ready?
For suspense.
Queen.
Nuts.
Jack of Diamonds. You, sir.
Dang, guys. 2 o'clock? What the heck?
You, sir, are up. There is something moving. It just ripped an insect creature apart.
Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and start by activating my Night of the Dead.
What does your Night of the Dead ability do?
I think it's might be the 4th Romero movie.
But it's a card. The reader gains charismatic and elong for the remainder of the scene. So charismatic, you gain 1 free roll on persuasion rolls, which doesn't really apply.
Does not help you here.
But elong, when you spend a penny to reroll a trait, add +2 to the total. This bonus applies but only when rerolling.
Okay,
and only traits. So I've activated that.
that's one action. Yeah, is there anything else you want to do?
Um, dang it. This crystal short sword I have,
Mm-hmm.
which seems to have some sort of electrical properties since
Mhm.
it ozone smell.
Mm-hmm.
Does it have any other sort of? So it's crystal.
It's crystal.
Could I? Does it have any ability to perhaps project a certain frequency if rubbed in the correct fashion or otherwise activated?
I ask you to refrain from rubbing your short sword in the normal combat.
Okay, but
Nope. I've asked you to refrain, sir.
what if we get a little moist? You know, like
Nope.
This.
Nope.
class.
Nope. All right, your turn's over.
Fair.
Out of the corners of your vision, 3 creatures emerge. And for a brief moment, you don't even know what you're seeing. It is as if reality is being cut apart by planes coming at you, like vertical planes. Some are long, some are short. They seem to be kind of radiating out from a center point. And as the thing turns, only in profile are you able to see it is a living creature. Arms, legs, head, sword. And it comes racing at you. There are 3 of them. Part of me feels that Pockets deserves all 3, but you 2 are clearly the heaviest armored. And Pockets, you've got a crystal sword.
Fair enough.
Let me pull up my. All right, my fight and roll. Here we go. What's your parry? Oh, I
Fine.
have. What, 5? So a 9 hits you with a raise.
Cool.
8.
Ooh, I got a 10. Well, that hits you with a raise. Pockets, what's your parry?
4.
9 hits you with a raise. You are all hit with raises. Yeah, I'd like to say it's not my fault, but I would be lying. Did I say come through the magic portal? Don't believe I did. What's your toughness and armor?
It's an 8 toughness, but the armor is 2 of it.
Okay. You take a wound and are shaken as this sword comes through, and as it hits you, your armor just sort of parts around it and giving it access to your flesh. Would you like to spend a Benny?
I would like to. How does that work again?
You make a vigor roll.
One of these days I'll remember. Ooh.
Explosions.
Ooh.
Explosions.
Jenny's dice. Hot, hot, hot.
14.
You take no damage from this thing.
Great.
Nice.
What is your toughness?
9.
9. You will take a wound and are shaken as well, unless you would like to spend a Benny to soak. The one coming at you has a shorter sword, but you do see that whip, or that net, kind of hanging behind it, dragging on the ground, and when it does, it's just cutting furrows in the turf. What is your toughness?
4. Wait, 6.
2 points of armor?
Yep.
You take 2 wounds and are shaken.
So I'm gonna soak.
Okay, roll for a soak. What'd you get?
3. So
You want to spend a Benny to re-roll that, or take the wound?
really don't want my armor to be messed up.
Don't worry, it's not your armor. It'd be you
Yeah.
that gets messed up.
Oh, that's
Alright, so because I got Elan, this goes like 2 plus 2.
When you re-roll.
Right.
Okay, you are fine. You take no wound from it.
4.
A 4, so you will still take 1 wound and are shaken.
All right. Seems like I'm gonna have to take it.
All right. Who is next? Jack of Diamonds, Chen herself.
Okay, so I have a question. I have e-spell protection, and one of the things, a modifier on it, is I can add it to additional recipients for a cost of 1 power point each. That's not like a multi-target. I take a negative on my roll.
Nope.
That's just additional power points.
That would be correct.
Okay. If I wanted to do a spell and a combat-y thing, am I allowed to do both of those things, but it would be that -2?
Yes.
Okay. I think I'm going to not risk that this time.
Okay.
But I'm going to cast protection on all 4 of us.
All right, so you have 2 choices, or you have lots of choices here. So protection costs 1 power point. If you want to cast it on everyone, that's 4 power points. If you would like to increase that, you could make it toughness as opposed to armor, which means armor piercing wouldn't do anything to it for an extra
Like 1 extra or like 1 extra each?
1 extra.
So it would be 5 power points total, and it would automatically... Would I be able to decide that after? Because it also says that if I get it with a raise, it would be toughness instead.
Ooh. No, you have to spend it beforehand. It is also, if you spend the extra point, it's not affected by AP. So.
Okay, I would like to spend 5 power points and give all of us armor, assuming that this works.
Go for it.
Okay.
Thank you, John. I will take your Benny.
Explosions.
Okay, so
John Doom likes me.
that's an 11 for the spell.
Okay, so that goes off with a raise.
So, yeah, it says everyone gets 2 points of armor that is applied to a toughness, so it's immune to the armor piercing, whatever.
Nice.
But since it's a raise, does anything else happen?
Mm-mm.
Better.
Yeah. All right, so I'm sitting on. Let me get my pool of bennies because they're wild cards. They move with a grace that is hard to describe. It is now 2 of hearts.
I am going to use the Morgan's Will, which is boost and lower, and I'm going to lower their skills.
Do you want to lower like their fighting skill so that it's harder for them to hit you? Because right now they're rolling a D10.
Yeah, I
Okay.
want to do that.
So here's the way it works. So you're going to make a conduit roll. And your boost or lower, so you're lowering their trait. It costs 2. You can hit all 3 for a total of 4 points. And if you want to go 5 points, you can make it more difficult for them to shake it off.
We're gonna go for 5.
I saw it too.
Nice.
That would be 15.
Holy crap. So with a raise, you will reduce their fighting die from a D10 to a D6 for 5 rounds.
5.
Or no, sorry, that's lowering. Same thing. A victim automatically tries to shake off the effect with a spirit roll as a free action at the end of their following turns. Success improves it 1 die type, raise removes the effect entirely, but because it is strong, they take a -2 to those rolls. What does it look like when the Morgan's Will just saps these creatures of their fighting ability?
I'm going to say that they kind of, for a split second, just kind of ooze red, and then it just disappears.
Okay, you can see them for that brief moment kind of outlined. They do look like crystalline entities of incredible beauty and grace when you're looking at them in profile, but as soon as they turn to face you head on, they almost completely disappear.
They're 2-dimensional. Well, I'm gonna move to where I'm perpendicular to one of them
Very good.
and shoot them with my Rustfire pistol.
Belaya, go for it. Give me the roll. Have a good night, John.
I'm gonna spend a penny.
Now, you can cast this multiple times to reduce different
5.
magnitudes.
Oh, okay.
A 5?
Yeah.
A 5 hits. Go ahead and roll the damage.
was the damage on rust fire?
Oh. I got that right here. Under the guns tech. 2d6 plus 1.
Hmm. All right. Well, that's going to be 9.
9. He shakes that one, kind of knocks it back.
Mm-hmm.
All right, new sets of cards. We're going to start with 8.
And it's a turn to reload a rust fire.
Yet. 8.
10 of clubs.
All right.
5.
All right. Okay, so these things, are they all hanging out together, or
No,
are they all
they're
spread out?
darting around the battlefield, but you
Okay.
can probably catch about 2 of them at any given moment in a blast.
Okay, I would
Or
like
if
to.
you want to wait, you can try and get them all in one.
How long do I have to wait for them?
You can just.
I
I'm
would-
saying they're moving around fast enough. You can pick a point to fire your blast off.
Yeah, I want to do that.
Okay.
So I'm gonna cast my burst, my dragon breath,
Okay.
hoping to hit all 3.
All right. Go for it.
That's a 9.
It's a 9. So a 9 hits with a raise.
Ooh. All right. And that means that it's 3d6 damage.
Smoke 'em.
That one does that. And that happened again.
You need one of these 6s?
That happened again. Okay. So that's 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 24, 28.
She melts them. They shatter.
28 is 16 off their toughness. So 1 wound at 7, 1 wound at 11, 1 wound at 15. I'm going to be spending a Benny from each to attempt a roll to soak this. First roll for the first one. We'll take 2. I'm gonna spend a reroll it. So I'm gonna use all of my bennies on this freaking roll.
Yeah.
It's only 1. All right. That one will take 2 wounds and is at -2 to everything. Second one. Come on, guys. I need one of these dice to explode.
It shall not.
Jenny's dice exploded all over the place. All right, so that one is enough to only take 1 wound, but it is out of bennies. In case you guys are wondering, I always roll in the open. All right. 1 wound, or 2 wounds. There is just this crystalline shattering noise as they are not dead, but they are all, I mean, and when I say all wounded. 2 of them nearly to death. The third one, it's all right. Who goes after?
Does my shaken affect them at all?
It won't get to take its turn
Okay.
unless it makes its roll.
Gotcha.
All right.
Who's next? The 10? 10 of clubs.
10 of clubs.
All right, so you just, by the way, Chen, breathe fire back and forth, and you guys can, for a brief moment, see exactly where they are, no matter how they're looking at you, because the flames just sort of roll and disappear and roil and come back around these things.
All right. So in my time with the Elysian Legions,
Mhm.
I'm just gonna lean on it.
Like, really heavily. I love it.
Have we ever encountered these guys before?
Nope.
That's my only question.
Okay,
All right.
next turn. No.
So, obviously, this crystalline weapon, I guess I'm going to swing it.
Okay.
I am swinging the crystalline weapon with a D4. Another D, the other D4.
Wasn't
Yeah.
You are not good with this sword.
I'm really not good
There
with
are
any weapon.
2 other people who are really good with blades. Just to toss this out. Go ahead and roll it.
might not get that.
That is true.
That is a fair point.
Your treasure is safe
Oh
with you.
gosh. Yeah, no, that's gonna miss.
What'd you get?
I got a 1 and a 3.
Surprisingly, you hit.
Really?
Yeah, the blade seems to leap out at the target.
Okay.
The damage on this is your strength die
Okay.
plus a d8.
Which, because I am undead at this moment, I have additional strength. So I have 2d6 additional. Strength plus 2d6 is my damage die now.
That's when you attack with your claws. So
Additionally, their melee damage deals strength plus
yeah,
2d6.
your hands.
Oh,
yeah,
okay.
yeah.
I don't want to touch these things anyway.
Are
What's
these
your-
like bone claws?
Yeah.
Alright, so strength plus...
Bone Claw knows what's going on. Yeah,
Strength plus d6, right?
yeah, strength plus d8.
D8.
Yeah.
Strength's not great either. But that's a 10.
That's a 10.
7 plus 3.
You connect, but you fail to wound this.
Okay, don't.
You want to spend a penny to reroll the damage?
No.
8s get to go. We're going to start with the one that is shaken.
It's negatives for all those wounds, right?
It does get negative. It gets -2 for its wounds. Demon. Wait, that's what I'm using. All right, spirit roll. All right, -2. Oh, it's unshaken. It's fine. Crap. What is it going to do? All right, it's going to attack Sam for shooting it in the face. However, it only gets these dice because it seems to be kludgy.
Those aren't good dice.
Those are not good dice. It misses you. I've got that one Benny from John Doom, and he would find it very untoward of me.
He said to reroll damage. That's not damage. That's an attack roll.
I'll let it stand. Attacking. Oh, yeah, attacking you.
Fair. Yeah.
Second one, because you seem to have established yourself as the threat. What's your parry is
5.
all right. So it hits with a race. Eight.
10 now. Because of protection, but
That's
2 of
right.
it was armor. So.
All right. So 8. This goes away. You will take 2 wounds and get taken.
I would like to soak that.
If she plays tomorrow night, I'm gonna get her character killed.
Thursday night.
Thursday night.
Tink is in the Supers game on Thursday.
You're doomed.
I didn't soak it.
Do you have any more bennies?
No.
Does the chat have any more bennies to give to? All right, this blade comes across, and it is a freezing line that cuts across you, and you can feel your flesh kind of get frostbit and just split apart.
Ugh.
You're at -2 to everything you do. You get
Well
2 wounds.
earned wound. A battle scar.
Oh, that's it. That's all of them. It is now Sam Sorrow. I can't do Sam's voice.
I'm gonna take a double action to reload the pistol and fire it.
All right, you crack it open.
So the double action is -1 to both.
-2 to both, but
-2
you don't
both.
need to roll the first one because it's just a reload, so it's just
Yeah.
a -2 to the second.
Okay.
Sorry, Pink, you don't remember?
Didn't exist.
Didn't exist. It's from a
Does
different
anyone
possible
have-
timeline.
Benny, they want to give me. I miss.
Okay.
I am going to get into the. I'm guessing I can still see them in that second.
Yeah.
And I'm going to go ahead and use Cutting Wind Burst to see if I can.
Kind of. All right, give me your burst roll.
Is that's still gonna be fighting, right?
No, that's going to be your
Fate?
your fate.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Next time I'm lying. Yeah, it's probably safe bet, Tink. But now I know that you don't have one.
5.
You got a 5?
Yes.
So that hits everyone. Go ahead and roll your damage.
So,
I kind of want to give you a Benny for the use of portmanteau.
But you know how it'll immediately get used.
I know it'll immediately get used against me, so you have a no prize instead.
10.
10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16,
18. 18 on all of them is 6. And I
Oh,
only
that's
have
19. Sorry, I missed that.
19. I only have one Benny that I can legally spend on a soap.
Legally.
I'm playing by the rules as they were established.
So that Benny was for damage.
All right.
And only below average damage.
Yes, yes.
How much was the damage roll total? 19?
19.
Minus 12
Seven.
is 7. So that's 1 wound. There's 1 left standing.
Nice.
Well done.
New cards. So the cutting wind, what does that look like?
It's kind of like almost like a giant tornado wind going.
Okay. Ben got a Joker. You all get a Benny.
Yay! Ben.
When do you want to go?
I mean, not now, given that apparently I'm like the worst at this.
Then I believe it is yours.
With the 9?
Wait, what'd you,
Yes.
what?
I rolled a number.
Ooh.
Got a 4. Not a
I'm
great-
gonna do the same. Reload and fire.
All right. Oh, hold on. I gotta make their spirit roll to see if they increase their die at -2. So my best number was 5, 3. They're still currently pudgy AF. What'd you get, sir?
I missed.
You only need a 4 to hit.
3. With the -2 for the reloading.
All right. Who's next? Ben jumping in or no? I got 4 clubs, which means
Yeah.
I go at the last of the 4s.
Yeah, I think it's me unless.
Yeah, Chen, what are you doing?
Okay, so I'm out of power points. So instead, there's only the one guy left standing, right?
Mm-hmm.
Am I I'm assuming I'm currently perpendicular to them, so I can see them perfectly.
Yes.
And I would like to take my. How close am I? I don't know. I'm gonna get closer, and I'm gonna take my scimitar.
I'm gonna interrupt and pass the crystal sword to Chen.
You have to Chen the crystal sword?
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
So you toss the sword to Chen.
Yeah, this thing
Who
is
catches
amazing.
it expertly.
You do. So Chen, it does a strength plus a D8 damage. It does +2 to all fighting rolls with it.
Okay.
Ooh.
And if you hit someone with it, whether if they're shaken or wounded, they also have to make a bigger roll or are stunned as well.
Okay. So I expertly catch the sword and then slash through the guy.
Yeah. Remember, you get +2 to all fighting rolls with this.
And then I have a -2 for my wounds, right?
Yes, so it's a straight roll. The skull looks at you. That was awesome. No one should be awesomer than you with blades. Kill her. I rescind my kill.
We would not survive that.
Okay, so that is a 13.
That
to
hits
hit.
with a raise.
Lord.
So what is your strength die?
My strength die is an 6.
All right, so it's a D6 plus a D8 plus a D6 of damage.
Okay, that is 13.
Do you have a Benny to re-roll that? Because it's kind of a... I mean, it's enough to shake him, but not enough to take him out.
Yes.
Okay?
I'm gonna be so sad. That one was worse.
So you take the 13. It is shaken.
I am also going to get perpendicular and also without a fancy sword, but wishing now that I had a fancy sword.
I want a fancy sword.
'Cause even afterwards, I'm just like, yeah.
Oh, I'm going to take a bigger roll to see if it's shaken. Or stunned. It is not stunned.
I will attack it with plain old boring sword.
It is, you need a 5 to hit.
Okay.
As opposed to its normal parry, which is much better. stupid.
Five.
All right, you hit. Roll your damage?
So strength. Nine.
10?
10.
10 is enough to shake it, and if you are shaken and get shaken, it inflicts a wound. What does it look like, Afe?
Nice.
In slight jealousy of my,
Oh, that sweet, sweet sword.
I will try to pierce this individual.
You just catch it on the sides, and it shatters. And at some point during the fight, the sun has set. And there is now just this viridian glow everywhere. And you can see off on the hill there's something coming towards you.
Is it a hill?
On the far side of the foundation.
Oh, gotcha.
You can see, as you look behind you, you can see the first bits of the ocean starting to creep over the edge of the cliff.
We have.
The thing coming towards you is moving in kind of a parabolic arc as it keeps hitting and moving closer. And you can see robes fluttering in the breeze as it moves. And when it lands in front of you, you notice three things. One is a large frog in a robe. Two, it bows before you.
Okay.
And it's at 3, it says to all of you, we must hurry. The dancers follow the water. Turns around and hops away.
Follow it with no question.
Same. Yep.
And that's where we will end for tonight. I feel like it's a good ending for tonight because...
Of the dancers left on the ground?
No, you cannot grind up dancers and sort them. And we will be back next week with Adventure 2. Oh, by the way, you all get an advance, which we will discuss at the start of the next session. This is the end of the first adventure. Welcome to the city, because you left the city behind. So we are now going to be Under Strange Skies is going to be Adventure 2.
Excellent.
All right.
So you guys all have one advancement. I'll explain at the start of the next session how that is. We'll discuss in the Discord so that you guys can all pick your things and go forward. Chat, thank you so much. Certified Organic, it is always a pleasure to hang out with you, as well as you, Tink, and John, and everyone who joins us, everyone who comments on the YouTube channel. Thank you so much. We will be back in a week with more Crucible of Realms. Go out and check out the other great show that we did this morning, where we talked about making one-sheets for Savage World. On Thursday, we're going to be talking about combat in Savage World. Got some good experience in here. And if you love Savage Worlds, go over to Pinnacle's Game Changer, because today they launched Necessary Evil 3.
Did they?
If you are not familiar with Necessary Evil is a superhero game using this book and this book, the Superhero Companion. It is a setting where all of the superheroes in the world have been killed. Therefore, you are the villains who have stepped up to say, hey, the Earth is where I keep all my stuff. Necessary Evil 3 is a cosmic adventure for Tier 5 heroes. It takes you through a great adventure. The GM screen comes with an adventure called The Return of Dr. Destruction, which I wrote and I think is a ton of fun. And it's actually not just Necessary Evil 3, but they have updated Necessary Evil 1 and Necessary Evil 2 to Suede, so you can get all 3 Necessary Evils. Perhaps not just necessary.
Is it now mandatory?
It's not mandatory or necessary. You get all 3. That is definitely a want of evil. But check it out. Go over to peginc.com. We'll put a link in the show notes, and we'll mention it in the Game Changer every week until it runs down. Again, Return of Dr. Destruction. I think it's a pretty sweet adventure. Thanks to people who play tested and read through it for me. Until next time, stay safe, stay healthy, stay gaming. Thank you so much. I am JM. This is the members of the Crucible of Realms until we get a group name, and we will see you all in a week. Have a good one.